Hey guys, what's up? Your local disaster here, and I have risen just like Christ. Okay, but in all seriousness, I'm back. I didn't want to make this video because I wanted to just leave all this shit behind, but a certain group of people doesn't want to. I feel very bad for leaving Sav and her friends just out of the loop on my lore, so I'll basically be explaining why and how I faked my death. Well, not exactly fake my death. Also, there were rumors spread about me and my friends, so I'll be addressing that too. But first, how about a tour of my new room? Okay, so as you can see, there's 2 of my nationalities hung up on the wall. Also a picture of my 2 groomers kissing. Here's my giant superior plush, and you can notice a little chow sitting on it. That's one of my sons. Here's plushies of one of my best friend's characters. You should check out his art after this if you're not a fucking boxy. My various assortment of cool items. Here's my other son, and you can see a flying Canadian plushie over there. And I guess that's it. So, why did I fake my death? Wouldn't exactly say fake, more like just forgot about my internet presence for a bit. You see, there was a serious attempt on my life. I got hospitalized for about like a month, but I got out on good behavior. My sister started spreading rumors about my death because she just wanted all this shit to end. I talked about some of the Gwunkin drama with my family. Not my parents. God, never. I apologize to anyone who I have scared. I know some of you won't take this apology because God knows why, but I mean this from the deepest pit of my hearts. I'm sorry. More lighter details I want to add is I just kind of forgot I had an internet presence for a while. I just decided not to come back for like 2 months because 1, the shit was getting stale, and 2, I was terrified of Encyclopedia Dramatica gathering information on me because I abandoned one of their people, which I'm also sorry for. I kind of didn't want to suffer the same fate as my friend, so no. I'm only 15. I don't need a whole ass article on me, you goddamn schizos. I also created a new identity, but I'm not telling any of you niggas shit. The main reason I came back was because of this horrific video dropped by Cool Speedy Epstein himself. So let's dig in like true alphas do.
Long enough are aware that I've been repeatedly stalked, harassed, and had a smear campaign made.
Oh no, it's totally not like you did that to me. It's totally not like you didn't stalk me for like a fucking year. But in all seriousness, I don't know why he's acting like the victim.
Against me by a former friend of mine named Will.
Sorry, but was that just someone's full-on legal name? I don't think you can say that. Don't do that. They call me the doxer.
Among a plethora of other aliases, but I will be referring to him as Will G for the remainder of this video. He's been at this shit for 4 years now, and it's about time I speak out about this hemorrhoid.
Again, look who's talking.
I first encountered Will G back in collapse, and it resulted into a spiteful, toxic asshat we see today. Sometime around 2019, I started to like Will G less as time went on.
Lamau skill issue.
As he was still bitching about Brick Hill, and the straw that broke the camel's back was when he raided a server belonging to another former friend, Ant Cruz.
I just want to go on record and state that none of these are him. I have never seen this man raid a server in my life. Also, there's no proof that any of these accounts are linked to him,
which prompted me to silently cut ties with him. He eventually caught wind of it and tried commenting on my projects in an attempt to get any response from me, to no avail. The start of WillG's longest pattern of not taking the fucking hint. Shit hit the fan in March 2020 when he raided my server with alternate accounts.
Again, you have no proof of this, you faggot.
Which got to the point where I had to remove all public invites to the server and made it private due to his rampant harassment. Many of his alts have been made with the purpose of begging me to make a rant video on him, under the guise that the alts were my, quote, fans. I did tease a rant video on him back then, but it was shelved as production was all over the place and I didn't want to give in to his demands.
I mean, you kind of already are creating this stupid video.
In some accounts, however, he would go into my messages and proceed to spam me with porno links while I was still underage, which he tried to justify.
And not him. I've talked with him before, and again, he confirms that it is not him.
By claiming I joined an 18+ server while I was 16, with there being no evidence to back up said claim, and has even tried spam calling me, I shit you not. In addition to him hounding at me to make a rant video on him, he furthered his narcissism by bragging about his subscriber count, which he used as a shield to deflect backlash and telling those who pointed out the frivolous nature of him boasting about his subscriber count to, in his own words, get on my level. WillG, you saying that you have more substance than the person calling you out doesn't undo the fact that you literally went out of your way to send porno links to me and tried to hide it behind the illusion that they were bots from my 18+ server that you claimed I joined. It doesn't change anything. My point still stands. And if you thought things could get worse, he even went as far as trying to harass me through email. And
to be fair, your email is ridiculously easy to guess. Jesus Christ.
And the second one, outright fucking blackmailing me into giving into his smear campaign that he's been pushing against me, which I'll get to later, in exchange for some blatantly traced artwork and being able to stay on new grounds. I wasn't the only one that was caught in his escapades, as he would extend his harassment to multiple friends of mine. The most notable examples include Mushy Mush, Spacey McSpacer, Kathy, aka the Letterboxd critic.
Holy shit, my first me mention! Woo!
And more recently, Bracket Neutron. Starting with Moshi Mosh, as she was the first of the four to interact with him, and holy shit, this says a lot about him. During their conversation, he literally avoids her arguments and makes excuses for some of his actions, such as him sending me Pornhub links, and even tried to claim that Discord would have banned his account if he did that. He would then nullify his own claim by saying that I, quote, secretly like it. If you're being confronted by something this severe, putting words into the affected party's mouth will only diminish your credibility and make you out to be the one who's in the wrong. The conversation later devolved.
Yeah, Boxies, putting words into my mouth is pretty wrong. You put something better in my mouth, like crab rangoons.
Into WillG bringing up his subscriber count again to deflect any criticism directed at him, to which he proclaims that she isn't worthy of giving him said criticism. Because having a large following on a website totally grants you the immunity to receiving scrutiny for being a scumbag. It ends with WillG blocking her from not buying into his bullshit accusations and discourages her from further contacting him unless she reaches a subscriber count on par with his.
Oh yeah, mini story time, but Mushi is actually the reason this guy has a Encyclopedia Dramatica article. This creature snitched on the mods. And if I remember correctly, that's why the article was created.
Next is Spacey. Now, WillG out of the blue decided to contact Spacey on Discord about me, and Spacey was immediately suspicious about this, but since he wanted to give WillG a chance to speak and possibly talk things out, he agreed to talk to WillG. Spacey first opens by saying that I'm not going to be interacting with WillG anymore, and that even if WillG is sorry, that isn't going to suddenly make me interact with him. WillG, however, completely ignores the statement and goes straight into the Josh doxing and live stream raid claims, which are thoroughly...
Yeah, the raid was done by me, but first of all, I apologized for it. Second of all, this is all your fault for participating in it, you goddamn faggots.
He debunked and explained. WillG then creates an entire user out of his ass known as Dragon Master 98. WillG justifies not having any proof by claiming he deleted his accounts, which is just another in a line of WillG excuses given. This supposed user isn't mentioned again after the Spacey DMs. The conversation continues to meander on with the same old claims about doxing and other shitty Wilgie arguments. Wilgie also denies the Pornhub rating evidence by stating his fans did it with no examples of any sort of toxic Wilgie fans. And even then, Wilgie goes out of his way to enable the harassment to a few fans that aren't bots, like Emoji Marbles and Guankin.
Oh, retard. Me calling out your weird pedophilic shit is not harassment, you goddamn Epstein clone.
After that, Wilgie brings up his shitty videos on me and the biased Wikipedia article Wilgie Bride for, which is debunked with Spacey bringing up the Encyclopedia Dramatica page, with Wilgie dismissing
Joshua, their entire personality is based on being biased and shit. You only understand Encyclopedia Dramatica when it's convenient to you. This will be a common theme later.
by claiming it's a CP site, despite no such content being on there, as if Encyclopedia Dramatica did have CP, it would have been taken down, let alone inaccessible on the surface web.
There was a whole lawsuit about this. If you actually paid attention to the surroundings around you, you would know that this happened. I don't want you to speak on topics like this again, even though you're really experienced with them. The majority of not safe for work sites benefit from trafficking. You autistic fat bitch.
After that argument failed, Wilgie brings up his subscriber count, and Spacey started taking Wilgie's conversation way less seriously from this point onward, as Wilgie proved himself to be nothing more than a joke that deflects everything
Sounds familiar.
said to him. He has accused me of botting views and comments due to rampant comments being suspicious. I'll go on the record saying I've never botted any of my comments, nor do I intend to. However, Wilgie is perfectly okay with using bots and sending them to my channel in order to...
This is on par with your quote-unquote Will G excuses. What the fuck?
frame me. These accusations... He has, on many occasions, accused me of stalking and harassing him, which...
Accused is a strange way to put it. Did do it. Yeah, that's definitely the way to put it. Shit has been going on for 4 fucking years. You need to stop.
also includes me supposedly sending my fans and mods after him. As this subsection implies, this was only him further antagonizing me by twisting the story to make it seem like I was the one harassing him. He also tried to accuse me of going as
You tried to twist the story? That's your fucking excuse? God, I remember when Spacey used that excuse on me.
far as to impersonate myself and shifting the blame onto him to garner sympathy, despite having plenty of evidence that proves the opposite. This accusation was the one he milked the most, before the most recent accusation he has thrown at me. This one is also the most ridiculous. His argument was that I supposedly hacked into someone's webcam and edited to make them look bad.
He also doxed my friend on Discord by using TeamViewer's
Oh my god, hey, Mikan, hi!
computer with malware and used his webcam to capture his real-life face and then edit it to make my friend look bad.
Which is complete bullshit, and I'll tell you why. He's gone on record to say he never owned a Patreon. However, I have evidence to prove otherwise. Dating back to 2020, someone bought access to his Patreon, and on it, he unveiled what his face looks like. And most importantly, an archive of the page is still accessible. When the page was captured, there were only 3 posts. The point of emphasis, of course, is the face reveal, which might seem like it was lost to time. However, with a bit of tinkering with InSpec, we can actually see a clean glimpse of the image. It's cropped, but it's a perfect match. When he was confronted about this, he tried to brush it off as an imposter account, and even suggesting I was the one behind it. I will go on the record
Again, that was an imposter, as stated by him himself.
to state that I never made a Patreon account, nor did I have any way to receive digital money at the time when this happened.
Holy shit, here we go. My time to shine.
Here it is, the big one. This is gonna be the longest section of the video since he's been insistent on pushing this one. Unlike all of his other claims which have blown up in his face, this one has received much more traction due to it stemming from other sources. The first one being from another former mutual of mine who goes by 4Guanks and dead by Grimite, but for simplicity's sake I'll refer to him as Guankin.
No, they do this shit to piss me off.
The allegations involving Guankin started over 2 years ago, sometime after we kicked Guankin out of a friend group and joined forces with Wilgie out of spite. Sometime later,
He says, I joined him out of spite when I did it out of fear, you goddamn moron. I was on the verge of killing myself, you faggot.
he later told Wilgie that I quote-unquote kinda groomed him, and Wilgie, being Will G, went along with it without question just to get back at me. To put this in perspective, Guankin has had a one-sided crush on me, which they—
What this nigga fails to mention is that he was weirdly flirty with me in the goddamn VCs, you whore. My own fucking thread disproves this immediately, albeit it was worded in favor of you. Disgusting.
presented as ironic. Because of this, I initially didn't think too much about it, which I'll admit was an irresponsible way of handling the ordeal, as they were incredibly
Oh, that's a shit grandmas do. Grandmas? I'm not fucking retarded. This is a horrible excuse. If some random ass nigga who is not your grandma starts blowing kisses at you, you don't take it as fucking romantic? Nigga. This excuse fucking sucks.
vague about their age. Guankin then went on to admit—
First of all, I did not claim I was 16 in a VC. Just straight up pulling this out of his ass. Second of all, I want you to see this screenshot.
Also, I'm sorry, but no offense, Julian, it was obvious you were just a kid, that them thinking otherwise is retarded as hell, that I always thought you were 13.
to 2 of my friends that this crush that was presented as a joke was in fact legitimate, only to later go on and admit that they were 12 to 13 during the course of them hitting on me as a joke. Needless to say, I was distraught after both of these revelations. This anecdote is something that I will come to acknowledge in my testimony for Kathy's initial response to Guankin, and it was also briefly mentioned in her earlier video by Box, aka the package reviewer. Because of the poor initial wording of both of these videos, my words were misconstrued and the story was distorted into one that frames me as being a borderline child predator and masking under irony. These claims were brought into the spotlight by the YouTuber named Mr. Blocky, who has started out by criticizing Box, then making a few videos where he further criticizes me. Will G, being the opportunity clout chaser he is, latched on to these allegations and is exploiting Guankin's self-destructive tendencies out of commitment to
Josh does this thing where he only sees me as some victim for like convenience purposes. This is really common.
frame me as the bad guy. Now, are the allegations against me true? Straight up no, and I'll go over why. For starters, the evidence provided is near non-existent and flimsy at best.
Yeah, you retard, because they were all in VC.
The closest proof they have was a testimony in Kathy's video that was taken out of context in order to jump to the worst possible conclusion. Another counter-argument is that I wouldn't have known of Guankin's real age for the claims of child predation to hold any water.
Yeah, no. I actually read articles about this specific topic, and it does not state that you have to know someone's age to like commit this crime, so fuck you.
Which, as proven earlier, was never disclosed until they were backed into a corner. And finally, I never shared the same sentiments as Guankin. Allegations—
Holy shit, this sounds so familiar. I'm pretty sure this excuse was used in a fucking kitty dog video. Nowhere does this say you have to share the same sentiments.
like these being faked for attention really strike a nerve with me. And the
Attention? Fucking attention? You thought this was all for fucking attention? Dude, if I was doing this for fucking attention, I would have done this to like a way bigger YouTuber than you. What the fuck would I gain from you? Better yet, why would I lie about a situation like this? Fuck you, Joshua.
worst part is how frequently they're made, and how they always overshadow real cases of grooming.
And you use other victims' voices against me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Die!
Undermining the severity of these acts for clout only enables legitimate predators to get away with what they're doing, causing further damage to be done. As much as he is desperate to capitalize on Blocky's video and the case of Guankin to gather all this publicity for himself, he doesn't try to get himself directly involved. Or so you think. Ray is an account that was created on March 19th, 2021. The content mainly consists on either leaked videos of a Pokemon fan series called Starter Squad, and more recently, videos against me and affiliates of Box, who have been frequently nicknamed Boxies by the aforementioned Guankin. The videos relating to me in particular have consisted of him capitalizing on the talking points that Guankin and others have been using against me. In the comments section of Box's video, he tried leaving a few comments where he pinned the blame for the Discord server raids on 4chan, which, if you know the culture of the site, you would know damn well they would recognize that you're trying to organize a personal army to attack someone you don't like. You'll be consequently ridiculed and told to fuck off for doing so. Now, how could Wilgie be the one behind the Ray account? Let me explain. Their editing styles are similar, their typing styles from both accounts are too similar to be a coincidence, they're both particularly fixated on Pokemon and Flash themes, a Go Anime restoration project, and here's the big one, the account shares the same URL as a backup account Wilgie had under the Nidoking moniker. Wilgie could argue that he simply gave the account away, however I'm calling bullshit given what we brought up earlier and how it would be redundant considering making a Google and a YouTube account is completely free. Now, here's where we bring up how he tried to go after Bracket Neutron after a video he made critiquing Blocky's video on Box. Will G, being as reasonable as he is, didn't even try to debunk Bracket's video, instead accusing Bracket of lying with nothing to back that up and even begging people to go dislike bomb the video, which only further damages any sort of potential credibility that he has. He also made a shitty parody video of Bracket, portraying him as a liar who defends bad people, extremely vague description there, and even had the gall to beg Bracket to apologize for not believing in his bullshit hook, line, and sinker. Or whatever you go by soon, if you're watching this, which I know you are, I have one thing to say to you. Fuck you! You put me through this shit for 4 years now, all because I hurt your fragile ego, and I've shown that you are—
Oh, fuck you. You admitted to stalking me for like a fucking year when I literally had nothing to do with you. I tried to escape you, but you just fucking admitted to stalking me for a year. Fuck off with this bullshit.
a sensitive fuck many times before, fleeing platforms when they call you out, and in the most recent case, fleeing after getting called out for proposing a vague collab about an obscure 3DS game, and then proceed to shit talk the site you fled from. Also, regarding alts, I will go on the record to say I am not retarded fag.
Well, I mean, that's debatable because that name suits you perfectly.
The reason I blocked you was because I didn't want to put up with your shit, and you went to the worst possible conclusion and assumed I was the account without much evidence. And even if I did directly tell you I didn't create the account, you would have inevitably pulled something out of your ass to counter it. You always do. You always fabricate the most
Like you didn't lie and say I said I was 16 in a voice call.
bullshit excuses to avoid any scrutiny being directed at you. All you're going to be known as is a shallow husk of a human being with no life skills, no aspiration, and no life in general, who refuses to take responsibility for anything and will go to great lengths to get back at people who wronged you. You threw Guankin under the bus after you were called out in Kathy's subpar video, only for you to—
So you admit I was faking my death for something important?
to form a two-faced reconciliation after Blocky's video was made. You exploit people like Blocky, Guankin, and Emoji Marbles to further your own slander against me because you're a pathetic, opportunist—
No, I'm not letting you pull this card. You and your fucking crew exploited me, made me have your horrible lolcow opinions. I was exposed to so much shit in there. I'm not letting you pull this card.
attention whore who puts yourself on a pedestal and actively leeches off whoever's gullible enough to validate you solely because they share a common enemy with you. You also got butter at me for drawing big women, which you claim was sexualized, yet you don't seem to have any problem with a minor outright drawing
Oh my god, there he is. Me being framed as some victim. Also, I was manipulated by, like, some of the Encyclopedia Dramatica people, not Steve. Be so for real, he doesn't view me as some victim. He's doing this shit for his own personal gain, and we know it.
revenge porn of me and the Encyclopedia Dramatica mods. This wasn't even simple suggestive art either.
No! Show this image in its full glory. I love this image.
It was straight up explicit porn of real people. Don't even bother trying to beg me
Also, I forgot to mention the fact that the school speedy faggot thinks Will had something to do with this when in reality he really didn't, so ooh, that's bad.
for forgiveness either. You clearly don't deserve it, and you will never receive it for all the—
The only person that doesn't deserve forgiveness is you. You've put me through mountains of shit. I had to do unthinkable things just to get away from you. And goddamn you. You won't stop. Get your eyes off me. You stalking multiple minors is not fucking forgivable. And it's not comparable to Will, like, I don't know, having accounts and doing stuff.
Bullshit you made me go through. Not only have you hurt me, but you've also tried to harm my friends, and worse yet, you've contributed to damaging the credibility of legitimate victim cases.
Oh, so my case is not fucking legitimate? You think it was all a fucking ruse? Fuck you, dude. Kill yourself. In Minecraft. Seems like you're throwing me under the bus for the fuck of it. No wonder 12-year-old me turned out to be a hypersexual mess. God damn you.
I'm done running. I'm not going to stand by and let this shit persist. I'm making sure you can never get away with this. The video's title will be updated to reflect any potential aliases you'll be using in the future. Rebranding won't save you now.
I beg to differ.
This is your final warning. Leave me the fuck alone.
That sure was an AIDS-causing video. Anyways, I'm gonna go to sleep.